Because every day above ground is a good day. Some are just more questionable than others. Questionable call, NBA Championship Edition. 8 on the board, and let's roll. Just before halftime in the deciding game number 5, Peyton Pritchard taking the ball almost near midcourt. Take a look.
Free throw, 4 for the rebound. Here's
look at the clock.
He loves these. Puts it up half court to the buzzer. Bang!
Bang!
Pritchard at the buzzer with a three-pointer. He's done it again.
Mike Breen on the call said Peyton Pritchard, he loves these. He almost called his shot, and then bang, there it was. Question on the board. Question. Halftime buzzer beater. Big deal, yes or no? Huge freaking deal. Here's why. It's not that the lead becomes 21 instead of 18. It's that it becomes almost demoralizing. You start to feel, if you're Dallas, like it is their destiny, it is their time, and it is over. You hear that place go crazy, super loud, and you now feel as though it just ain't going to happen. Dallas came back several times this postseason, down 20, but after that shot went and that place went crazy, they knew second half was merely a formality to a funeral. We continue on in this championship NBA Finals edition to number 7, one of the more grotesque situations in Game 5. Derrick White in his teeth, loose, wiggly, and one of them badly chipped. Take a look at this.
You got some loose teeth, you got a chip too. This cost you. Why was it all worth it?
Man, this is what we work for. I mean, I'll lose all my teeth for a championship, and so.
What?
I'll get it fixed, and I'm going to enjoy this one.
I'll get it fixed. I'm enjoying this one. Question on the board. Question. Would you lose teeth for a ring? Yes or no? What are you, smoking crack? Is there anything is like nauseating and gross as the idea of loose, wiggly teeth? Not with little kids. I mean adults with loose, wiggly teeth. Chipping my tooth is like one of my worst phobias. Having loose, wiggly teeth is one of my worst phobias. There, hockey players, I know they lose them in the middle of a game and hand them to the referee. All the power to y'all. No, I'm not losing any teeth or chipping any teeth to win a damn ring or a championship. Sorry, fellas, I just don't have that level of commitment. We roll on in the countdown to number 6, presented by Celsius. Essential Energy, Live Fit. Today's the fantasy vibe. You know what that is. That's the mandarin orange marshmallow. Tastes like a creamsicle. Get some. Celsius. Live Fit. We got Celtics owner Wyc Grousbeck, who is calling Lisa Salter by the wrong name. Lisa Salters. Look at the irony on that. Take a listen to this.
Wyc, expectations for this team were so high all season long. Just how were they able to, every time, rise to meet the moment?
Michelle, the brilliance of Joe Mazzulla.
Did you see her mouth?
Is that he wouldn't let expectations get in the way.
Did you see her mouth? Did you see she started to mouth like she was trying to tell him, that's not my name, I'm Lisa Salters. Question on the board. Question. Should Lisa have corrected him? Yes or no? No, she did the right thing. She didn't want to make it awkward and uncomfortable and all. It's not about her anyway. It's not like she's receiving the MVP award. Then you got to get the name right. Lisa Salters is an Emmy Award-winning professional. She's a pros pro, universally respected, admired. She's a hero. He didn't know her name. He was thinking Michelle Tafoya maybe. I don't know. It's easy to confuse, I guess, if you're not paying attention. But with that said, no, she's a pro. She did the right thing by just letting it go. We roll on in the countdown all the way up to number 5, presented by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. SLBT.com. 18 locations throughout South Florida. Go to SLBT.com. Home of honest, reliable service since 1970. Drew Holiday, his wife, she's an athlete. He obviously is a star of the Boston Celtics. Well, take a look at this because ABC thought that this was her in the crowd. Mike Breen is awkwardly silent. And then he says there's the white. And then later on, there's a correction. This got a little awkward. Take a look.
You talked about he and his wife, Lauren, and their commitment.
There's a random woman. Kids.
So 4:39 remaining. And there's his wife.
That's awkward.
Let's listen to some wire.
Yep, not a lot of information there.
And apologies, that was not Drew Holiday's wife.
We want to apologize. That was not Drew Holiday's wife. Question on the board. Question. Which was worse? This or the Michelle of the last clip? This is worse. Here's why. It's easy to confuse Michelle Tafoya, Lisa Salters. They have the same job. Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, we get it. But in this spot, You're claiming that this woman is his wife and those kids are his. They're mixed race. We get it. And then you go, hold on a second. Wait a minute. Breen wasn't sure. You could hear that. You could hear someone was telling him that's the wife. But in his voice, you can tell that he's like, I'm not so sure about this. And that's why the apology was such a little, you guys know, someone told me to say that. He didn't want to out him. He didn't throw him under the bus. But, you got to be careful because the wife may be like, oh, really? Who's that? Who's there? Who's really? I'm sure the wife was there, just not, that wasn't her. Awkward regardless. We continue on in the countdown up to number 4. Staying with the NBA Finals in the championship closeout Game 5. This is Doris Burke. Listen closely. Take a look at this foul and then listen very closely to what she says would have been the case if this would have involved Caitlin Clark. Take a look. Look at that. Throw down. Toss.
Just throws him down.
Yep. Tossed him.
Crowd reacting to the replay on the big screen. Washington just trying to send a little message, play some physical basketball.
If that were Caitlin Clark, it might spark a debate for a week.
You hear the laughter, but Doris Burke ain't laughing. Question on the board. Question, is she right? Yes or no? She's not joking. She's absolutely right. If this would have involved Caitlin Clark, it would have been topic A on First Take and Get Up for 2 consecutive days. It would have been enormous. And that maybe puts the attention to where we should be talking about. Why are we treating the women's game differently? Why are we looking at the Caitlin Clark situation differently? What's the difference in that spot? No, Doris Burke is right. If that play right there would have involved Caitlin Clark being tossed to the floor, it would have been enormous. Her doing the tossing would have been a big story. In other words, like, oh, maybe she's had enough. Maybe she's cracking now. She can't continue to be. Now she's going to join the dark side of the force. No. Doris Burke is correct, and she was not playing. Let's continue on up to number 3 in this NBA Finals Post-Championship Edition. This one presented by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Take back control of your life. Kyrie crashing into the crowd. Picked a bad place to do it in Boston, brother. Take a look.
Make sure he's
look
okay.
At here.
Amazing hustle.
Right to the broadcast booth. That's a statistician. There's Breen right there. Look at Doris. Look at JJ. They don't flinch. They get out the way. But look at the fans.
Just incredible. And we hope.
Look at the fans.
Dave, are you okay? You're okay?
Well, he's been hit.
That kid's on his phone. He didn't even look up. The question is on the board now. Question, would fans have helped out if it wasn't Kyrie Irving? Yes or no? Listen, if that is a Celtic player, people are making a human barricade to stop it. It is a Mavericks player. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But listen, it is the most hated of the Mavericks player. It is the traitorous Kyrie Irving who left Boston. They're going to let him fend for himself. Don't think in that split second fans didn't recognize who that was. They had a visceral response. And by the way, to be fair, those courtside seats, those are going to be for the rich money. Those aren't the people that are there on a Tuesday night in late December. So the basketball fans probably would have held up, stopped them. But the big money people, maybe not helping regardless. Definitely not helping if it's Kyrie Irving. So yes, the fans would have helped if it were a lot of players. Anyone in green, majority of the ones in Dallas blue and white, definitely not Kyrie. Let's roll on to number 2 in the countdown. And it comes to us from Get Up. Monica McNutt is on the show, and she's doing it clearly via FaceTime. Take a look at this.
Standards is me. That's all I'm saying.
How was that not answering the question?
I
Answer the question.
I answered
He
the
did.
question too, but then I got killed for it.
No,
He
you
did.
didn't answer the
I
question.
did. I said fiction.
What the hell?
I said
What the hell?
Sorry, I thought I had turned that off. I don't know what's going on here.
They're having a heated debate, like they're going in on each other, and there's temper, and then all of a sudden the balloons fly up because she triggered it with the motion, I guess. Question on the board. Question. Unprofessional conduct or awesome content? It's awesome. COVID changed everything. COVID had people working at home without wearing pants on Zoom and Teams and FaceTime. And this is awesome because it shows you that it's real. It's real life. It's real time. She's working on technology you and I have. And things sometimes go wrong. Sometimes when you're introducing a story about saying Lisa Salter's name wrong, you say her name wrong. This is awesome content. It is memorable. It is relatable. And it is compelling because when things go wrong, who doesn't like to see that happen? And just like that, we're all the way to number 1. Make sure you hit subscribe And also like this video so we can get some love on the way. This is how we wrap up our Boston Celtics Championship edition with Brian Windhorst prior to the game on Monday, explaining about the T-shirts, what they say, and the vendors, and what fans wear in Boston. Take a close listen to this.
When you arrive at the arena in Boston, they have all these T-shirt stands outside, and they had T-shirts out there every day of the year. Even if you're going to a hockey game or you're going to a concert, that said F LeBron and F Kobe. And
wow.
The only reason I took the Kobe ones down was because he unfortunately passed away. Otherwise, they'd have still had it. When I take pictures with people in Boston, they're very nice. They ask for a photo. I got to pay attention to what shirt they're wearing.
Wow.
Because I have no idea what shirt. I don't want to be all of a sudden in a photo where I'm standing with somebody that, this is the way in Boston. They play on a different level.
They play on a different level. Question on the board. Question. Are Boston sports fans extra brutal? Yes, without question. And don't ask me, and don't base it on broadcasters, don't base it on fans. Ask the people you know that played in Boston, but not for Boston. Friends of mine that played against the Red Sox, against the Celtics, against the Bruins, against the Patriots, particularly friends of mine, former players of color or minorities. They will tell you. Now, that all aside, how about Windhorst making sure your shirt checks out? Boston sports fans are extra brutal. And I'm not just talking about the Anik brothers, John and Jason. They're so brutal to each other. We're talking about going above and beyond, going in on. Boston sports fans are educated and loyal and proud. Sometimes they're a little extra when it comes to the brutality. The B's, the Beans, the Beantown. Maybe the B stands for brutal, just after all. Make sure you hit like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And remember, kids, while every day above ground is a good day, some are just more questionable than others. Say goodnight to the bad guy. We'll see you on Friday.